Hello everyone. In the previous video we have discussed about the factors affecting rate of a chemical reaction. In this video we are going to discuss about how to write the rate of a chemical reaction. Rate of a reaction is defined as a change in concentration of reactant or product per unit time is called as rate of chemical reaction. There are two types of rate we can write for a chemical reaction: average rate and instantaneous rate. So first one is the average rate. Average rate is change in concentration of reactant or product in the time interval over which the change occurs. So this is the rate of a reaction measured over the time interval over which the change occurs. So average rate is written in the equation form: change in concentration of a species divided by change in time. This time is time interval. A large time interval will be there. So change is indicated by delta. Change in concentration, delta is the change, concentration is indicated by C, and change in time is indicated by delta, change, and time small t. So in this way we can denote the average rate. Delta stands for large change. It is the large change. So the time interval will be large. Consider a reaction A turns to B. Average rate of consumption of A for this is written as minus. Minus indicates the concentration of A decreases with time. So minus is indicated to show the decrease in the concentration. So minus delta, that is change in concentration, is indicated by square bracket. Change in concentration of A divided by delta T. So over this period of time interval, the concentration of A decreases. Similarly, average rate of formation of B is written as delta plus delta square bracket. In the square bracket B is written. So it means plus the concentration of the product increases. Product is B. So the concentration of B increases with time. So plus delta concentration of B divided by delta T. Hence, the average rate of reaction in terms of A is, average rate of reaction in terms of A is this one, B is this one. So average rate of reaction can be written as minus change in concentration of A divided by delta T must be equal to plus change in concentration of B divided by delta T. Concentration is indicated by square bracket, which means moles per liter. Concentration is moles per liter. Moles per liter is nothing but the molarity, and time, it is in second or hours. It is to be indicated. Unit of rate of a reaction is, then it becomes moles per liter per time. Time is in the denominator. So moles per liter per time, or molarity per time, because moles per liter is nothing but the molarity. When unit mole of A and B are involved, the average rate of consumption of A and the average rate of formation of B and average rate of the reaction are equal. When coefficients in this reaction are unity 1, then the rate of consumption of A and the average rate of formation of B and the average rate of reaction must be equal. However, this is not true for the reactions involving different number of moles. If the number of moles are different, that are not unity, then the average rate of formation of B and the average rate of reaction will not be equal. So in such a reactions, the various reactants are consumed at different rates and the various products are formed at different rates. When the coefficients are different, it means the different reactants are consumed at the different rates and various products are formed at the different rates. For example, this is the reaction. N2 reacts with nitrogen, reacts with the hydrogen to form ammonia. The balanced chemical equation shows that 1 mole of N2 reacts with 3 mole of H2 to form 2 moles of NH3. Means for the formation of 2 moles of NH3, 3 moles of hydrogen and 1 mole of nitrogen gas gets consumed. So for 1 mole of N2, 3 moles of H2 are required. Then when 1 mole of N2 and 3 moles of H2 react, 2 moles of NH3 are formed. In this reaction, for every mole of N2 consumed, 3 moles of H2 disappear. 3 moles of H2 are required for every mole of N2 and the reactant disappears. So for every mole of N2, 3 moles of H2 disappear and 2 moles of NH3 are formed. Because the stoichiometric coefficients are different for the 3 species. The rate of change of their concentrations are correspondingly different. So rate of change of their concentration, here 1 mole gets consumed, here 3 moles gets consumed, here 2 moles are formed. So rate of change of their concentrations are correspondingly different. So here in terms of H2, the rate can be written as H2, rate of disappearance of H2 is equal to, it is the 3 times the rate of disappearance of N2. Minus indicate disappearance or consumed, concentration decreases. So for 1 mole of H2, for the disappearance of 1 mole of H2 is equal to 3 times, it is 3 times the disappearance of, rate of disappearance of N2. Rate of disappearance of H2 is 3 times the rate of disappearance of N2. Similarly, rate of formation of ammonia is 2 times the rate of disappearance of N2. Rate of formation of NH3 is 2 times the rate of disappearance of N2. So here rates are different. There are 3 different rates. However, the rate of reaction must be unique. But the rate of reaction must be unique and must be same, no matter which reactant or product is chosen to measure. Whatever the reactant or product you have chosen to express the rate of the reaction, but the rate must be unique, rate must be same for that particular chemical reaction, whether you are going to express in any reactant or any product. In terms of any reactant or in terms of any product, if you are going to express, its rate must be unique, equal, same. To avoid the existence of multiple rates, the general rate of reaction is equal to the rate of consumption of a reactant or the rate of formation of a product is divided by its coefficient. So, when the coefficients are different, to get the unique rate of a reaction, we need to divide the rate of consumption or rate of formation of that product by its coefficient. By its coefficient in the balanced chemical equation. To avoid the multiple rates, we need to divide the rate of consumption of that reactant or rate of formation of that product with its coefficient in the balanced chemical equation. Then we get the unique rate for that reaction. So to get the unique rate, we must divide the rate of consumption of that reactant by its coefficient or rate of formation of that product by its coefficient in the balanced chemical equation. So average rate of reaction for the formation of ammonia can be written as rate of disappearance of N2 is equal to 1 by 3 times the rate of disappearance of H2, and it is half of the rate of formation of ammonia. So rate of disappearance of N2 is 1 by 3 times the rate of disappearance of H2, and it is half of the rate of formation of ammonia. So this was all about the average rate, how to write the average rate. Remember, while writing the average rate of that reaction, the rate of disappearance of reactant must be divided by their coefficients in the balanced chemical equation, and the rate of formation of products must be divided by their coefficients in the balanced chemical equation. So the rate of that reaction will be unique. Now another one is the instantaneous rate. The rate of a reaction at a specific instant, at a particular time, at that particular moment is called as the instantaneous rate. If the average rate is calculated over shorter and shorter intervals, the rate at a specific instant is obtained. The time interval when it is very short, then the rate at a specific instant is obtained. For example, formation of ammonia from the nitrogen and hydrogen gas. The instantaneous rate at any time t can be written as change rate of disappearance of N2 in very small time interval. D indicates small change. Small change. D indicates small change. So rate of disappearance of N2 will be equal to the rate of disappearance of H2 divided by 3 and rate of formation of ammonia divided by 2. So here D, instead of delta we are going to use a D to indicate instantaneous rate. Here change is indicated by D. D is the small change. D is the small change. D is the small change. So in the small time interval or at the particular instant, the rate of change will be very small. So indicated by D. In chemical kinetics, because we will deal only with the instantaneous rate, we are not going to deal with the average rate in the chemical kinetics and not with the average rates. That is why the instantaneous rates will be simply called as reaction rates. Simply we are going to call it as the reaction rate. Graphically, the instantaneous rate can be calculated when the concentration of the reactants are plotted against the time. Whatever the curve obtained when the tangent is drawn on that, when the tangent is drawn, then the negative slope of the tangent, the negative slope of this tangent to the curve, negative slope of the tangent to the curve of reactant concentration versus time. This is the graph, reactant concentration versus time when the tangent is drawn, and negative slope of the tangent is the instantaneous rate of consumption of that reactant at time t. So negative slope is nothing but the instantaneous rate at time t. Instantaneous rate at time t. Similarly, in case of the product, when concentration of product is plotted against the time, whatever the curve obtained when the tangent is drawn to that curve, on that curve, the positive slope of the curve obtained at time t is nothing but the instantaneous rate. The positive slope obtained, whatever the tangent drawn on it, the positive slope of this tangent is instantaneous rate of formation of the product at time t. So this is about the instantaneous rate. In this way, by plotting concentration of product against time, we can obtain the instantaneous rate by drawing a tangent on the curve. So in this way, we can determine average rate of a reaction and instantaneous rate of a reaction. So numerically how it can be calculated, in the next video we will see about that. Thank you.